Homelessness is an issue being faced nationwide, clearly, and I was telling some folks before we started that I was just in California, and it was the lead article in the Napa Register and the San Francisco Chronicle and the Los Angeles Times, so we're not unique, and apparently there is no universal solution, but I would like to know what you all think you might be able to do in the county council and in a way that would address homelessness for your particular area. And let's start with you, Eileen. What do you think you would want to do?
Good question. And earlier today, I attended a homeless conference, the homelessness conference that was put on by, it was an interfaith conference. And Hope Services was one of the sponsors, and they are doing a project in Pahoa called the Puna Project. I find that working with the consortium of social groups out there, church groups and other social groups whose mission is to help community and help in the problem of homelessness is the most effective route to take. If left entirely in the hands of government, government unfortunately has ways of putting obstacles in the place of solving problems. For instance, right now, we cannot use any HUD money for anything but permanent homeless shelters. We can't use that for temporary homeless shelters.
And that's federal money, right?
That's federal money, thank you. So sometimes government regulations can get in the way of solving the problem. So it's very important that we form public-private partnerships in order to resolve the problem. There is no one solution fits all. Every situation, every homeless situation is different, so it really is a case-by-case basis. But I heard some very good success stories today at the conference.
Ms. Green, what do you think the solution to homelessness is for your district and certainly for the island, if there is a solution?
If there is, I'd like to have it right now. I'd like to have that solution. But like Eileen says, yes, you know, there's a lot of things that need to be, the government needs to get involved. I'm on the homeless committee in Pahoa, where we have a slight problem, not as bad as Hilo has, but we do have a slight problem. The last Wednesday of every month, I do a food pantry, and there we take food to our homeless in Pahoa town. We have about 4 or 5 of them that we give packaged foods to. We have a meeting, and one of our meetings we had a breakfast and invited all the homeless and let them know, let us know what their issues are. A lot of our homeless do not want help. They like being where they are. They like being out on the street. They like being free. They don't want to be tied down. We had at least 15 homeless, and we sent a lot of them back to the mainland, and we got them jobs. They're back working. Some of them in Puna working, which I'm glad to hear. And we are still on the subject of homelessness and still having meetings to find our solution for this situation. We're trying to find a place where we can build some kind or some sort of a facility for our homeless. I met Dr. Kopp, who does the walk around the island for the homeless, and he showed me a plan for his facility that he wants to build in Kona. If we could build a facility like his, half the size here in Puna, I think part of our problem would be solved. Thank you.
Thank you. Moana, why don't you talk about what you see as a solution that you would support to address our homeless issue here, please?
Okay, so in order to address our homelessness issue, I believe we need to work in collaboration with the coalition of groups of government agencies, nonprofit organizations, local churches, local groups that have put on the homelessness summit like they did today at Sangha Hall. Through that, we need to identify, what services are needed out there. We're dealing with people who have a wide array of issues going on, from mental health issues, possible substance abuse issues, unemployment, or just simply a lack of basic resources. So we need to really identify what truly is the need. There's a gap in the services that we're able to provide. We know that there's a homelessness issue, and then we also know that there's an affordable housing issue. But what's missing in between is a transitional program that could link these people to get them off the streets. Working on making the eligibility process to get into transitional homes, making that more transparent, less restrictive. All of that needs to be worked on, and I believe we've already have people in our community right here in Hilo, in East Hawaii, and in Puna, who are aware of the issues and have already, taken charge and have been really instrumental in getting agencies involved and providing that education and information. So I believe that's the first step in trying to address our homeless issue. Thanks.
You said that there are people involved in doing this here?
Yes.
Name an organization, or who are you talking about?
So we have Hope
Briefly.
Services.
Okay.
We also have East Hawaii Coalition for the Homeless. You have that homeless shelter up at Kabiolani.
Okay.
And there are also various church groups that are involved.
Oh, okay, I just wanted to make sure we were clear on who you were talking about. Ms. Leloy, talk about what you think needs to be done to address the homeless problem.
Yeah, so what we're clearly hearing is it's a complex issue. And we're gonna need to collaborate, and we're gonna need to do some public-private partnerships. But on the council, the most powerful tool we have as a council member is the ability to control our zoning and to write legislation. And so I'd like to see, with the power of the council, is to begin to craft legislation that would allow zoning authority for multi-generational families, because that's what we see in homelessness, where families can't afford to live on their own. They move in with their parents, and the grandparents are taking care of their kids because they can't afford childcare. It takes two families, multi-generational families, to live in one home. And if there is an opportunity in our zoning code to develop an area for multi-generational zoning, which would then open the door to our HUD funding, that's how we, on the council, can begin to help from a public sector standpoint with the private sector people. The other opportunity that the council has is, as we work through these programs with these Hope Services and the homeless shelters, what we need to also do, and I'm really not excited to propose it, but it's those sit and lie bills that we see in City and County of Honolulu, is that when we're trying to get them into these homeless shelters, we need some authority, some municipal law that helps get them off of the streets and into these shelters. It's a multi-pronged approach, and our role on the council is to write those policies.